There's a very patriotic Kenyan who has been at his job for a very long time, yeah, and his name is Edward Ouko. Okay, now Edward Ouko in his latest report tells us something that is just shocking. Yeah, according to him, the ruling Jubilee government, yeah, in the financial year 2015-2016 cannot account, wait for this one, for 40.2 billion Kenya shillings. What? What does he mean cannot be accounted for? Well, that is very kind language for saying this money has vanished. Okay? Imagine you have a joint account, or maybe it's a charm account, and you have so many shillings in your account. Okay? Now, somebody comes up, wakes up one morning and tells you they don't know where 100,000 is. Yeah? That means there are no records, there are no indications where that money went, only withdrawals. Okay? And then the withdrawals have been done in such a way that you do not know. Okay, you can see who withdrew the funds. Yeah, you can see how the funds were withdrawn. Yeah? And you can see that your signature and the other person's signature is there. Yeah, everything is okay. But this money is nowhere to be seen. So in other words, this money has been stolen. I can't think of any other better word. Yeah? Stolen. Robbed. In other words, in the government financial year 2015 to 2016, you know the financial year of the government ends in June, hence the 2 years, yeah? In that year, 40.2 billion went somewhere. We have no idea where. Okay? And of course, your guess is as good as mine. And of course, the most likely thing that happened is that this money ended up in people's pockets. 40.2 billion. Now, you know, some of us cannot be able to picture funds. You know, when you see figures, we just get confused. So let us try and bring a bit of clarity into this number. Okay? Now, $1 million US, okay, is 100 million Kenya shillings. That's a lot of money. With 100 million Kenya shillings, you're set for life. Yeah? All you have to do is look for 2 lucrative properties to purchase. Yeah, somewhere near Nairobi, that can fetch a rent of, say, about 100,000 a month each. Yeah? And you're done. I mean, 200K a month. Yeah? And you have this property which you can borrow loans against, etc., etc. 100 million Kenya shillings is a lot of money. But still, it is nowhere near. It's not even a drop in the ocean as far as 40.2 billion is concerned. Now, $10 million US is 1 billion Kenya shillings. Okay, and now we have a drop in the ocean when you look at this figure, because take that and multiply it by 40. Wah. Now this drama gets even more interesting. Okay, according to Auditor General Edward Ouko, the Interior Ministry, yeah, the Interior docket in national government, has a secret account. Okay. And the account is at KCB Moi Avenue. It is account number 1109896077. Now, in the financial year 2015 to 2016, this account transacted, wait for this one, 8.7 billion Kenya shillings. Now, the strange thing here is that there are no records, no cash book, no transactions, no receipts, no petty cash voucher, nothing, zilch. Yeah, so this money was just withdrawn, gone. Yeah, I mean, even if you had a personal checking account, you have some sort of record. Yeah, you write on the check leaf, this was for this was for that. You know, you can at least account for the money. If you look at what you have written on the checkbook leaf, you know, on the leaf besides the checkbook which you have cashed, yeah, or presented. Okay. Now, in the case of this account, there's nothing. Yeah, in fact, this would be the sort of account which would look very similar to the account of a drug dealer. Naturally, as a drug dealer, you don't want any records, because records can be evidence at a future date. Yeah. So the idea is you leave zero paperwork. Yeah, zero. Gosh. But what we're talking about here is an account of the government of the Republic of Kenya. Taxpayers' money. My money and your money. Yeah? And even if you're evading taxes at the moment, you still pay taxes. Yeah? How? Through value-added tax. Every item you buy is taxed. Yeah? So every bit of shopping, whenever you remove money from your pocket to spend, you've paid tax. Yeah? So this is the money which is being played around with in this manner. Now let us also look at this thing from both sides of the equation. Yeah? Let us not be naive. Okay? Now it is true that the Interior Ministry or the Interior Docket is a sensitive docket. Yeah? One of the players or one of the people involved who draw funds from this particular docket is the National Intelligence Service, NIS, Usalama wa Taifa. And it is also true that what these people do is highly sensitive. Yeah? And one would understand why you cannot really account for it so closely. Yeah? Quick example. Okay? The NIS has somebody on the inside of the Al-Shabaab, yeah, an informer. Yeah? And they need money to, to keep the information flowing, where the next attack is, what they're planning, what they're thinking, what is going on inside the organization, etc., etc. Yeah, that is Usalama wa Taifa, highly sensitive. Yeah, you cannot have too many records, too much details about how that money was spent. Granted, I accept that. However, even in such a case, there should be some sort of record. Yeah, for instance, the boss at the NIS can sign some kind of voucher. Yeah, so that we know so much money went to NIS and so signed for it. Yeah, that is what is prudent. That's what can make sense. But in this case, no record. And so we can only reach one conclusion concerning this no records, no paper trail thing in the Interior Ministry. It means that somebody somewhere was stealing funds. That's really what it means. It means, for instance, you don't want any records because out of every 1 billion you draw for NIS, maybe 2 billion or 1 billion goes into somebody's pocket. And so when the Auditor General asks, you tell him 3 billion ilienda kwa NIS. Yeah, while in actual fact what happened is that 1 billion is the only money that actually went to NIS. The other 2 billion was pocketed by somebody. That is the game going on here. Because why else, try explain to me, educate me. Why else would somebody not want any paper trail on this? Yeah, because other countries also have intelligence services, yeah, and the funds are allocated to those intelligence services in such a way that they can be accounted for. I'm not saying those other countries are clean, because wherever there are human beings, corruption has to be there to some extent. However, they don't do things juakali like this, where you don't have any records for public funds. Public funds are just drawn. There's nothing indicating where they went. There's nobody who signed for the money. Gosh, what is this? Now, this is very scary information when you consider the fact that Eurobond Part 2 imetoka. Wah. Oh gosh, I can only laugh because I can't cry. Now you imagine what's going to happen to those funds. And by the way, Eurobond Part 1 has not been fully accounted for. Yeah? And by accounted for, I do not mean spent well. I mean accounted for where we know so many billions were lost, we can't explain where they went, etc. They have not finished the whole amount. Oh boy. Until next time, this is Kshs Kumekucha.